icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey, let's go. Thursday show, Halloween show, October 31st, 2024. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. If you're watching on YouTube, part of the now over 70,000 subscribers on that platform, hit the like button, subscribe to Woodward Sports. We say good afternoon to you. And Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
See, you weren't here yesterday. So, when I say I told you, this has no merit on you, Ryan Ermanni. Ladies and gentlemen out there, Caesars is our sports book, and I told you individually on what you should do yesterday. I told you that Aaron Judge would hit a home run.
He did.
Didn't I tell you? It's plain as day, just like the day before that I told you Freddie Freeman would hit a home run. And both of those happened in one inning, the very first inning of the game. You could have got paid like my man Pete Spivak on Caesar Sports, but Pete, did you get paid?
I got paid, baby. I listened to you,
Pete got
Bray.
paid.
No, a lot of fun, man. No, real talk, man. I know it's a bittersweet day for you. I told you to make that bet. You made it and more, but your Yankees, they Yankeed, and I'll turn it over to you, sir, as you're wearing the beautiful, beautiful Giancarlo Stanton jersey that actually was Mike Stanton.
That's right. Mike Stanton, Halloween orange today for the Yankees funeral. And I'm lucky that my lovely wife, Kathy, surprised me and took me to MJ the Musical. That's right, Michael Jackson the Musical. How about that, huh? At the Fisher Theater. She surprised me. She bought tickets in July. So she's not one of those that is going to buy it. And then, of course, know the Yankees are in the World Series.
We're going to center you. Is Maz centered? I want to center Maz
Anyway,
a little bit. Sorry.
You got so much things going on. I don't even know what the hell's going on here.
It's
But
fine.
just to let you know, I didn't have to watch that fifth inning. I did hear they were up 5-0. And then, of course, the meltdown in the fifth inning. 5 freaking errors, especially a drop ball by Aaron Judge. And then Garrett Cole doesn't cover first base. They were a disaster, an absolute disaster. They gave that series away. Who knows if they would have won, but they would have won yesterday had they just made basic plays in the fifth inning. They would be going to L.A. for game number 6 tomorrow. Instead, Dodgers win their 7th World Series. Now number 8th World Series.
Maz, I'm going to stop you there and I'm going to ask you a question. As a Yankees fan, and the Yankees are the number 1 brand in baseball regardless of who won the World Series.
In sports, potentially.
Agreed. 100% Ryan Ermanni. What do you do if you're the Yankees? Like, what does it look like for you? Aaron Judge, how he performed, Aaron Boone. I know you're talking about the 2 Aarons, I guess you can say. What does it look like moving forward for the future for the New York Yankees?
Aaron was a ghost yesterday, but you signed him to a huge deal. He's 31 years old, going on 32 here pretty soon. Talk about a guy that started his career late. Aaron Judge, you would never think that he's in his 30s.
I had no idea.
Isn't that something?
I really didn't until you just said that right now.
And then
I felt like he's a
Soto's
27-year-old guy.
Right, and Soto's 25.
I knew that.
But he looks like he's
Because
31.
Soto, when he came up and won it with the Nationals, he was like 22 years old.
Exactly.
Yeah.
First thing you got to do is you got to sign Soto. And I know that puts you in the stratosphere of the Dodgers payroll. It says they only spent like $500 million this year, but they spent like $1.8 billion this year, not $500 million. Nonetheless, they got Shohei, they got everyone else on the books. Soto said, I'm a free agent. I never heard a guy that played for a team that got to a World Series that played in New York for the Yankees, a classic team, a class team, the team in all sports. And he says, you're a Yankee. Is that they have the front run? Are they the front runners? No, they're not the front runners. Right, like that. He says, no, they're not the front. This guy is literally just going to be bought. Whoever pays him the most will have him. Now, people say the Dodgers are going to pay the most, and they can, but they won't. And I'll tell you why. Major League Baseball can't let him go to L.A. because it will be a complete uncompetitive balance if he goes there. It wouldn't even be worth even playing the rest of the 30 teams that are in the Major League Baseball. It's going to be the Yankees, the Mets, the Cubs, the Phillies. One of those 4 teams will have Juan Soto, and the Yankees need pitching, a lot of pitching.
I got 2 things for you.
Get Walker Buehler.
I got 2. Walker Buehler, man,
He'd be a great Tiger.
100%. Also, his comments that he made and how he thinks about the game. Freddie Freeman is the second thing. So remember that Freddie Freeman. You know what it is, man, as it relates to Juan Soto is The Yankees and the Dodgers are very similar. They both have hired guns, if you will. They have both spent money to get individuals and make that. Good job, KG. Appreciate you. And make those individuals a part of what they do to win the championship. The difference with the Yankees, when you watch the Dodgers dugout, even though guys are new, whether you're talking Freddie Freeman 2 years, whether you're talking Shohei Ohtani 1 year, Jack Flaherty 6 months, it just seemed like a place where everybody gets along. Everybody gels. Everybody's getting paid, but everybody's about the team, the winning, the goals. They love their skipper. You know, when you look at the Yankees, everybody seems individual. Garrett Cole's in his own space. Soto's in his own space. And remember I told you, Aaron Judge didn't look like he liked what was going on with Giancarlo Stanton? Like, it looked like they have their own things going on. The Yankees are superstars that got to the World Series, but they all seem very individual. It doesn't seem like a complete team. Ryan, as it relates to Freddie Freeman, thoughts on where he ranks in the World Series MVPs that you have seen in your adult years, so you really understand what it is?
Certainly one of the best of all time. The run that he was on, I can't remember a player in the World Series era having that consistent a productivity over the course of an entire series. I can't remember one game here or there, and
4 homers, 12 ribbies,
and obviously
there's only one person. It was last year.
Absolutely, and tied the all-time lead for RBIs in a World Series. Yeah. And obviously the big blow in the opener. You have no idea which way this series goes if, in fact, you get Freddie Freeman out instead of hitting a grand slam. That's just that's a backbreaker. I know, as Jim Leland said, momentum only goes as far as the next day's starting pitcher, but not when shots like that happen.
Same thing in '88 when Gibby broke the A's back. He broke their back.
Completely different scenario that we saw. And again, you know, I go back to that 5th inning. I've been watching baseball a long time. Not saying that I'm some like 80-year-old out here that has seen every baseball game ever played.
Maybe 60.
I cannot remember an inning played as poorly as the Yankees played that 5th inning last night. I couldn't believe my eyes. I have never seen such poor defense in my life. And I can't remember seeing a player, take Aaron Judge, for instance. I cannot remember a player in Major League Baseball on a line drive like that. That wasn't a pop-up. It was kind of like a mid-line drive. Losing that ball. I mean, that was not in some sort of sun or in some sort of glare. He literally just had his glove out there and closed it before the ball got in there. I've never seen a player drop a ball like that. You know, the Volpe play was the Volpe play. It just didn't go.
Picked the wrong base.
Well, I don't mind him going to the third, but 1, it was a bad throw, and 2, he couldn't make the pick. Chisholm couldn't make the pick. So a play like that happens.
Chisholm's not really a third baseman.
No, he's just playing out of position.
What did I tell you about the Yankees?
They're a ragtag team.
They shouldn't have made the World Series. I don't even know how they did.
Well, because you can mash in regular season baseball and score more runs than the other teams, and that's essentially what they did.
Cleveland and the Tigers were much better to play against this Dodger team. I know it sounds crazy,
right,
but it's true.
Because they could
especially
pitch.
Cleveland.
Because they could pitch.
Yep,
it at least gives you a chance. I think Cleveland more so than Detroit, because Cleveland could hit the ball out of the ballpark too. The Tigers really didn't have anybody hit the ball out of the ballpark other than Kerry Carpenter. But you know, the Rizzo ground ball, I don't know what Garrett Cole was thinking. Other than maybe he was just so gassed, he assumed that the play was going to be made. And there was, if you watch that play closely, and I saw that replay about 1 million times, it does look like there's some sort of spin on the baseball at the end where Rizzo has to extend his glove as opposed to fielding it in front of him and run. I mean, that's very technical.
He wouldn't have caught him. Both guys are slow. Garrett Cole is slow.
Yeah.
Rizzo is slow. And Mookie Betts was flying.
Yeah, he was. In a strict contrast to the way Giancarlo Stanton was running around third base.
Did you see that play really?
Yeah, I know.
There's no way the third base coach is going to send that guy.
Right.
What are you doing? Anyway, they made so many mistakes. God bless you, KG.
It just seems like the sports that we live in today, man, is not to
They didn't deserve it.
It seems like and that's what I'll go to. It just seems like the sports today nowadays, Ryan Ermanni, you can get to the championship, but you can't win. You can pay to get to the championship.
Great point.
I give you an example. In the basketball, the Dallas Mavericks, Luka high scoring, Kyrie high scoring, a lot of threes, a lot of volume, things of that nature. But when they played against a team, the Celtics, that were fully balanced, that understood the ways, that had the coaching, that had the bench, they lost. You look at the Oilers, and the Oilers lost to the Rangers.
Yeah.
Same thing. The
No,
Rangers,
Oilers
The
lost to the
Panthers.
Panthers have been there for a very long time. They're a complete team all the way around. But Edmonton had the goals. They had the high flying and things of that nature. They lost, and they came back from 3-0. It should have been a sweep. And then you look at the same thing in football. You can get to the dance using the things of now in 2024, whether you score a lot of points, whether you shoot a lot of threes, where you score a lot of touchdowns, score a lot of goals. But you can't win the dance if you can't do all the things. You can't win the full dance if you don't have the coach. You can't win the dance if you don't have the bench and the players to help you. You can get there, but you can't win it all. You're seeing that in every professional sport, whether it was hockey this year with the Oilers, whether it was basketball with the Mavericks, whether it was football with the 49ers. You see it. You can get to the dance, but you can't win.
Okay, now you just described the Detroit Lions. The Lions. Listen.
Okay, let me shut up.
Listen. If the Lions stay as they are, and there's less than a week now to the deadline, if they stay as they are, they can make it to the Super Bowl. Can they win the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Even can they make the Super Bowl?
Yes.
As is.
Yes.
Without the pass rush.
I believe they can. I believe their offense is that good, and their defense, specifically the two safeties that they have back there, can do just enough to slow other teams down.
We talked to Dan Miller yesterday. We love Dan. I asked him the same question, basically. And he said, I asked him, do they have to outscore people? And he's like, well, it kind of seems that they might have to unless they get a pass rush. Because if you do the same pass rush against the quarterback, let's just say Jordan Love was 100%, C.J. Stroud 100%, pick another good quarterback they got to play against. Whatever. Brock Purdy. If you give them the time that Mason Rudolph had, they're going to make you pay. Where you played Mason Rudolph and Sam Darnold, they didn't really make you pay. But you're going to pay in the playoffs. You think Jalen Hurts, you give him that much time, even with his knucklehead, he's going to beat you. Jaden Daniels, if you face Washington in the playoffs, you give him that time, you think he ain't going to complete a pass? He will. You better get on that pass rush.
I got two answers for that Ryan Ermanni, and the first answer is yes. I think currently constructed, no help, no moves, no two players, no major splash, Myles Garrett, no major. You can make it to the Super Bowl, but can you win it? The answer is no. We've seen teams go to the Super Bowl with just an offense. The greatest show on turf, the St. Louis Rams of 2000, that offense was ridiculous. How many Hall of Famers on that offense? How many league leaders on that offense? And then it's like, well, the defense was the defense. You still had guys on that defense that were Hall of Fame caliber. Aeneas Williams is a Hall of Fame safety / defensive end. Kevin Carter won't be a Hall of Fame defensive end, but you look at his numbers, it's just like looking at Lomas Brown. Like, why won't they let the man in? They had those players on that team. So you can get there, Ryan, but I don't think you'll win if you get there. They can get there. Now, you got to get somebody if you want to make me confident and comfortable that we're going to win. Best offense in the league, 100%. But the defense, it's too inconsistent.
Right, they're going to face Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson in the Super Bowl.
No, I understand. I understand that.
They can get there.
My brain was so focused on this World Series and the Tigers, that I'm trying to.
Gears on you,
that's all
fault.
right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to navigate through both these thoughts that I have in my head.
Well, I thought Braylon's point of you need to get things to win.
Yeah, and that's kind of exactly what I was. Can I save that football analogy for a minute? Let me save that football. Let me get back to this baseball, because I think you were so right about that, Braylon. Because I think if you watched the Dodgers last night and you see the Yankees and you see the Mets coming along, it's hard to imagine now a time that you believe your Detroit Tigers could legitimately compete for a World Series title. And they certainly aren't going to do it with 25 pitchers. I mean, it was nice, it was cute, it was good, but that's not something that's sustainable. Free agency starts today in Major League Baseball. Yeah. Today. You can.
There was already a trade. Braves and Angels.
I didn't.
Yeah, Soler went to the Angels. They traded
really?
Soler to the Angels. Yeah.
Jorge is a pretty good player. But, there's all talks of like Alex Bregman and this, that, and the other, Christian Walker maybe. Yeah. What do the Tigers need? I pulled up the top 25 free agents for this coming season. This is on MLB.com. Top 25 free agents this upcoming season. By the way, 5 days after the World Series ends, teams can start signing free agents. So that's November 4th. Teams can start signing free agents. Of the 25 free agents that are listed as the top 25 in Major League Baseball, each player on this has 3 teams they fit with, potential fits, potential suitors.
For money and everything.
For money, potential suitors, teams.
Okay.
Each player has 3 teams.
Let's hear it.
So that's 75 different options
Scenarios.
you can have. Okay, scenarios. Of the 25 players that are free agents, 25 top free agents, how many players are the Detroit Tigers associated with in this top 25 list?
3.
1.
1.
Wow.
That's my guess.
TS?
1.
Bregman.
Not Alex Bregman. 1 player the Detroit Tigers are associated with in the top 25 free agents of Major League Baseball.
Toronto Maple Leafs?
No, you're never going to get
Willie
it.
Adames?
Nope, you're never going to get it.
Give me a league.
Blue Jays
American League.
He comes from the American League.
Comes from the American League. I'll do this. Comes from the New York Yankees.
Oh, God.
1 player.
One
Volpe or
player.
Verdugo?
No.
Fuck, I give up.
Pitcher?
Glaber Torres.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's on the...
I'm good on Glaber Torres.
Glaber Torres was good when he was in the home run contest in 2015, and you thought he was going to be the next star. Not now.
Listen to me. What did I say at the trade deadline? I'm like, the Yankees are getting
that's
tired of this Glaber Torres guy.
Yeah.
I said that. I'm like,
He hit a home run.
he'd be a great Tiger. Go get Glaber Torres.
Yeah.
I remember saying it a couple of times.
Yeah.
Now, he's reinvented himself in the playoffs.
He did. He
Wowed
leading
himself.
off.
He works hard.
He
Yeah,
went
he's
from
a
being
team
a
guy.
dog to being a leadoff hitter.
Like, he was a
But
monster.
you would play him at shortstop because you got Cole Keefe at
Well,
second.
that's the point too,
Right.
KG, because the player that you have put the most amount of resources in on your team that actually played, Colt Keith, who also plays second base. So, Torres was a shortstop, wasn't he, before?
He can play shortstop.
Yeah,
He was. He likes playing short better than second. He stinks at both.
Let me just read for you what let me just read. He's 28 years old. Torres struggled to find consistency throughout much of his platform season, but he finished with a flourish after being moved to leadoff hitter, hitting 5 homers, 18 RBIs in his final 31 games. In free agency, devoid of second base talent, Torres will draw plenty of interest. Yankees, Tigers, Mariners. So I thought that was interesting. Like the Alex Bregman, 31 years old.
I don't want
Not
him.
sure if it's going to happen.
He's an injury walking.
Astros, D-backs, Mariners are the teams associated with Bregman. 31 years old. Bregman's breakout seasons in 2018-2019 saw him average 36 home runs, over 100 RBIs, finished top 5 MVP in both years. Hasn't reached those levels since then.
Yep.
That was 6 years ago, guys. Though he remains one of the most productive third basemen in baseball, Bregman's platform got off to a slow start. Hit 288, 22 homers. In his final 94 contests, the Astros have talked about keeping Bregman in Houston, but there will be a number of suitors trying to sign him.
Keeping him. They already said
D-backs
goodbye to
and
him.
Mariners among them. But again, who could you sign that makes you believe that your team could go up against the Los Angeles Dodgers or even the New York Yankees with Judge and Stanton
How about
and
Cleveland?
Soto and Cleveland? It's a very difficult proposition, and this is why the NFL is king. This is why the NFL is king, because whether you're the Atlanta Falcons, the Kansas City Chiefs, the New York Giants, the Detroit Lions, or the Jacksonville Jaguars, you have the exact same opportunity to win a Super Bowl championship. If you have competent leadership, you can get good quickly in this league. In baseball, it's just too difficult.
You could stay bad long, too, in the NFL.
You could.
The Lions have proved that.
But
over the years.
that's not the NFL's fault.
That's the Jets, too.
They set it up for him to be better.
That is your organization's fault.
Well, it's also
Yeah,
baseball, too. It's the same thing. When's the last time Illich spent a penny? Except on the wrong guy, $160 million for Javi Baez.
The pitcher as well. Don't forget about the pitcher who disappeared with the ding.
Jordan Zimmerman?
No, the one with his girlfriend, his wife.
Eduardo.
Eduardo. They spent a little money on him too. Look, at the end of the day, the Tigers have built something. We watch these guys together. They love playing together. That's all a part of it in 2024. In any sports level, you got to want to play together. It seems like this team wants to play together. There's moves you can make. Maybe you go get Jack Flaherty, who didn't have the best World Series, but when he got his start and he started to picking up momentum, it was here under Chris Vedder. Maybe you bring him back. Maybe you go out and get Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and put him at first base. There's moves that you can make to make this team much better and make them a competent team. Because neither one of these bullpens that we saw, the Dodgers or the Yankees, were killers. It was the bats that got them the World Series win. So you can take what you have in place here in Detroit, which seems to work. The excitement, getting to the second round. You add 3 players. I think there is something here in Detroit, and I think there is something to compete. It may not be as flashy. It damn sure is not as flashy, but it could be better because Yankees, they shouldn't even have been there, but they got there because it was a bad American League this year, man.
Willie Adames was a former Tiger, if you remember. He was a farmhand, and he went in the David Price deal, and he's made himself a hell of a career. A couple of teams wound up, he was with the Rays, then he wound up with the Brewers. He's a terrific player. You could bring him back, put him at shortstop. I would have no issue.
Willie Adames, by the way, number 8th ranked player on this list, 29 years old.
I like him.
Blue Jays, Dodgers,
Put the list back up there,
Giants.
I know. I'm just saying, man, there's a lot of guys out there, but that top 25, the Tigers aren't going to hit that. No. They're going to hit the next 25 to 50. And I'm going to tell you, Walker Buehler's not on that top 25.
Yeah,
Walker Buehler is a Tiger or a Yankee. Put it down right now.
You may not get
Put it down right now.
You may not get one of those top 25, Ryan Ermanni, but if you're the Tigers and you want to spend some money, if you will, but not a lot, you can get 26, 27, 28, 29. If there's nothing wrong with getting those players, because I guarantee you those 4 players or those 3 players at those numbers, I guarantee you they give you something that can help you. Who was the last?
This is from Baseball America, by the way.
I appreciate that. Yeah, These are the top 10. Obviously, Juan Soto, like you said, a lot of these guys you won't go after. But yeah, who on this list excites you, Maz or Ryan? Like you look at this
Soto is
right
a generational player.
He doesn't even count.
Santander had a phenomenal year with Baltimore, but he's
34.
Yeah, he's in his 30s.
Years old.
Yeah. Christian Walker's in his 30s.
Christian Walker's
Ozuna's 50 years old.
I know.
Teoscar
Hernandez,
32
years
he's
old.
up and down.
I know.
Pete Alonso's finished.
All these guys
had a good postseason.
All these guys are old.
Here's some pictures for you.
Yeah, basically.
Not the pictures I'm looking at.
Jack Flaherty to me is probably the best on that list.
Sean Manaea.
I'll take 4 and 6.
Yeah, I'll take Sean Manaea with Chris Vedder. I'll take that.
I take Max. I take Max and Jack.
Listen, Jurickson Profar is a terrific outfielder, but you have your outfield already.
Exactly.
Your outfield is all set. As far as pitchers go,
Parker Meadows is an all-star. Is a perennial all-star.
Riley Green.
I didn't realize Garrett Cole's a free agent.
Yep.
Really?
Yes, sir.
He felt like he just signed.
A 3-year deal.
Yeah.
3 years ago.
Felt like he just signed.
It was a 2-year
because
deal.
of the injuries. But
Gassed. He was gassed last.
Is it just me? And I wanted to throw this in the group chat, but I don't know why I forget always. Does Garrett Cole look like Ryan Lentz? Or vice versa?
Yeah, he does. He does.
Every time I see him, especially when
Ryan
you can
Lentz,
see the curl
one of our hardworking stewards in the back.
They do
here.
the graphics for it.
No, people in the chat think he looks like Jackson Jobe. So.
Oh my gosh,
he looked more like Garrett Cole. But
Lentz is a ball player.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
Get Walker Buehler. Get Corbin Burns.
I would love that. I don't think they'll do it.
He don't do it for me.
He's up there at the top.
Burns because it's like the Cleveland. It's like the movie Major League.
He don't do it for me.
You can recreate Verlander and Scherzer with Burns and my man.
Schoolboy,
yeah,
100%.
You can recreate that.
Guys, in the remaining time here, I'm going to get a break in a couple of minutes. But now back to the NFL. You asked me a question about can the Lions win a Super Bowl. I do believe they can win a Super Bowl. Currently constructed, but I am surprised they haven't made a deal yet. I know trade deadline is Tuesday. It is less than a week out, 5 days away. I thought this team would make a deal prior to this Sunday's game. You know how the Lions usually get a player in here, let him sit for a week or assimilate for a week and then play you? It feels like if you're going to make a deal, if you're going to get the player, you essentially steal a game out of that player by getting him on this side of game week.
You mean like Bruce Irvin?
Bruce Irvin. They did it to the tight end last year.
16.
What was the tight end they
Zach
signed?
Ertz.
Zach
Zach
Ertz.
Ertz,
If they got
yeah.
it to the Super Bowl, they were going to activate
Zach
him.
Ertz is eating right now, by the way,
Yeah,
with
he
the
is.
Washington
Yeah,
Commanders.
he is. Yeah, he is. But again, it's just I thought this team would have made a deal by now, and I don't want to use the word shocked because I think that's too strong of a word, but for lack of a better word to think off the top of my head right now. And by the way, thanks to everybody in the chat who was commenting on the Mario costume earlier today. Thank you. I thought about wearing it here, but I could not wait to get that thing off. The mustache hurt too bad.
I got some costume. I can't wait till we do top 10. I got some costume pictures for you, Ryan.
I love those.
So we'll do that coming up. But I'm surprised they didn't make a deal yet.
Bro, they're playing poker. Brad Holmes is the best poker player in the NFL. I'm praying. He's going to wait. We're going to get it on the day before or the last day. Because Cleveland right now, they're going to sell.
Yeah.
Cincinnati, they're going to sell. But they're going to the highest bidder. They're pitting the Lions against a lot of other teams. Everyone knows what the Lions need. So everyone, you think I'm going to let the Lions get a guy? It's like the Red Sox and Yankees. They hate each other so much that they'll sign a guy just so the other team don't get him. There are teams out there that do not want the Lions to get that pass rusher.
Yeah, this is absolutely true. Tom Aswell, you bring up a great point. They're playing poker, but the problem is everybody's playing poker. Ryan, but you know what happens in the game of poker? You know what happens with the ones that really don't have the cards, that don't really have the money in the backing? Once it gets close to the end, once it becomes Sunday, once it becomes Monday at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., those are the ones that's like, all right, look, let's stop playing the game. And like, we need to deal. We need to deal. We need to make a move. And so that's when I think you'll see the deals get done. On the NFC side, you won't see it happen because Maz is exactly right. People don't want to see the Lions win. It's very funny in sports. When you become one of those teams that people talk about, teams no longer want to do deals with you. They no longer want to make you better. They no longer want to help you out unless they're just desperate like Tennessee with the Chiefs. You'll see something happen. It'll be on Monday because that's what Brad Holmes is waiting for. He's waiting for the deal. He's waiting for the team like Cleveland to finally cave at 3 a.m. as they're talking to each other on Monday. Like, you know we're not doing anything. You know we're not going anywhere. This brings us a chance to collect picks for the future, to start. Everything is all about restarting. So I'm not tripping now. I won't trip Friday as well. I think Monday morning would just be the time in which Brad Holmes can wait long enough to get those two players that he wants.
I hope.
Yeah.
I will say this. I don't think I will trip no matter what.
Yeah, good point.
Like, even if Brad Holmes decides not to make a move, which I don't believe is the right thing to do, but if he says, I'm not making a move, there's a reason why he's not making. He's not just choosing
there's nothing
to spoil a Super Bowl season. If he really doesn't believe that the player was worth dropping all these future assets on. He has built up so much equity with me. Brad Holmes has built up so much equity with me that if he decided to give 4 first-round picks for Myles Garrett, I'd be fine with it. And if he decided to stand pat, I'd be fine with it. That is just where I'm at because of the years of playing chess as general manager of the Detroit Lions.
I saw somebody say, like, you know what, if Brad Holmes doesn't make a move, shame on him. He said because he also didn't draft Kyle Hamilton and he drafted Jameson Williamson. And I just laughed. Like, look, people want to try to go back. People want to try to have things to say about Brad Holmes. But the fact remains and the truth remains. He has helped draft and bring in players that have created an identity here in the culture here in Detroit that people are now revering, whether it's the front office or whether it's team and team lockership. So I trust him, but I still have a right to say this is what I want. I still want you to make this move.
You ever play poker with a guy is tight with his money, doesn't want to put the money in, and you could just probably bluff him right out of the game?
My boy Steve Eisenberg.
That's what's going to happen here with the Lions. No, everyone knows here we're not spending anything. When I mean money, I mean draft picks. I don't think they make a move.
Just humor me for a minute. So Brian Branch was the 45th pick, safety.
How do you get to 45?
Brian Branch was the 45th pick. So would you rather have Kyle Hamilton and Jartavius Martin? Or would you rather have Jameson Williams and Brian Branch?
I'm going with the Lions pick.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is you don't have Brian Branch if you pick Kyle Hamilton.
Correct.
To your buddy who says...
What wasn't my buddy? It was online.
Or whoever was
The chat.
online.
Yeah, it was chat.
I'd rather have Brian Branch over Kyle Hamilton any day of the week and twice on Sunday. And I'd also rather have Jameson Williams and Brian Branch over Kyle Hamilton and Jaden Reed.
Yeah. You're
I don't know about that.
If you're talking about player for player, I got a different answer. But if you're talking about the two players, 100%. I'd rather have Brian Branch. I'd rather have Jameson Williams. Player for player,
I'd rather have Jaden Reed than Jameson Williams.
I was gonna say Kyle Hamilton special, but we'll see because Brian Branch is on a tear and he has put himself into a category now in which he's ranked top 3 cornerbacks or safety.
Fair to say that you can't lose either way.
Hell no.
You know what I mean? So it's
Fair to say he did right.
It's almost a wash.
Yeah.
You know,
which is a great conversation because if it's a wash with a guy like Kyle Hamilton.
Guys, we got to get a break. When we come back, Wayne Larrabee going to join us, longtime radio voice to the Green Bay Packers. We'll talk to him next. But first, a message from us here at Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. Les Stanford has expanded into Ferndale with the Buick GMC brands. Les Stanford is your home to all GM brands now. Of course, the Chevy and Cadillac dealership located in Dearborn, where they have been on Michigan Avenue for over 55 years. New cars, pre-owned cars, service. Your car needs some service. They've got you covered. LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Together, let's drive.
And you could drive over to the second best bar located at 42 Watson Street in Detroit on Sunday, November 17th, where you can catch the Woodward Sports Lions pregame show. Enjoy some smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching that Woodward Sports Lions pregame show only at the second best bar. You know what I'm about to say. Come get some.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at LesStanford.com today.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at WoodwardSports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. boys, men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
It is time to tell y'all about that good, smooth tangerine space machine. Did you know that it's the official beer of outer space? I know you didn't, but hey, it's cool, man. You can get cool like us and drink it on the moon like we have, man. Tangerine Space Machine, the easy drinking IPA that's out of this world, man. Smooth and juicy, pause, with a refreshing crushability. Take your taste buds to the moon with Tangerine Space Machine, brewed right here in the great state of Michigan by New Holland Brewing Company. It is Tangerine Space Machine.
Guys, dreaming of a new home but feeling in the financial pinch? I'm with you, man. Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs.
Say what?
That's right, $5,000 right off the top. KG, when you're ready, let me know.
I will.
Call Mark White and Associates. You can do it right now. You don't even need me. 248-290-8242. You got to hit them up online as well. MarkWhiteSells.com. Again, Mark White and Associates. Call them now. 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
And let me tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. It's open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, enjoy a $20 haircut special. Can't get anything for $20 anymore. Scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Just scan the QR code in the top left-hand corner of your screen and get the coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
All right.
Expected to be joined by Wayne Larrabee momentarily. He is the longtime radio voice of the Green Bay Packers. We'll talk to him about that. But I wanted to...
I want to ask you something.
Sure.
You weren't here yesterday. And yesterday was the big JMO news, right? And I want to get your take on him, just the whole thing. He was with his brother downtown. Police pull him over. They search the car. He's got a gun, but it's registered in Missouri, blah, blah, blah. Here we are. It's a possible another suspension if and when this thing gets taken care of.
To me, I wish he would have had the proper paperwork for it. Aside from that, and that is a big aside from that. I mean, if you're going to own a gun, you should do so legally, lawfully, and respectfully. I took a CPL class just down the street here at Target Sports. It was an eye-opening experience for me. I'm not that big of a fan of guns, like personally, but I am interested in them for protection. Took with my wife a CPL class. We were there for 8 hours on a Saturday.
Wow, that long?
Yes, it's a rigorous process, and I have more respect for that than any other thing now after having done it. But yeah, I mean, I wish the young man had the proper paperwork for it. I think that the officer is more in question than anything else at this point. I mean, look, it's all on body cam. The officer was going to arrest him, calls up to his lieutenant, they let him go. It's got more to do with that than I think JMO right now, but we'll see. Time will tell. A Wayne County prosecutor has it in her lap right now, so will charges be filed? We will wait and see. But in the meantime, there is a big football game at Lambeau Field on Sunday. The A team for Fox is going to be there. Kevin Burkhardt, Tom Brady, and the rest of them. 4:25 kick locally here in Detroit.
A-team on the radio, both sides,
A-team on the radio, too. Dan Miller for the Lions and Wayne Larrabee for the Green Bay Packers. And Wayne joins us now. Mr. Larrabee, how are you, sir? Big fan of yours, and thanks so much for the time.
Absolutely.
Well, great to be with you guys. How you doing?
Doing fantastic. And again, it still feels pretty new for us to have a pretty decent football team in Detroit. I know it's been a couple of years now, but still to have the Lions and Packers play for first place, this just feels right. We believe the Lions are the best team in the NFL here. How do you view the Detroit Lions? And from a 30,000 view, what do you make of this football team this year?
I think they're playing the best of anybody in the league right now. They have been really impressive in their last 4 or 5 games, in my opinion. I've watched the last 3, and the way they just there's so many ways they can beat you, and especially on the offensive side, but also on special teams. And I don't think they get enough credit for how good they've been on teams over the last several years. Hey, listen, they do a great job to scheme it up and everything else. Dave Flip has done an outstanding job with that group. But when I look at the overall numbers, defensive adjusted value over average, which I think gives you a pretty good picture of how a team is playing, the Detroit special teams are number 1. And matter of fact, the Lions overall are number 1. And number 1 by an extremely wide margin. I understand Kansas City is undefeated. Quite frankly, they're not playing that well right now. The Lions are, and yet they've had an incredible amount of injuries. They've got 14 people on injured reserve. 10 of them are defensive players. 5 of them are starters, and 7 of them would have been playing in the defensive rotations. So this is a tremendous credit to the depth they built on this football team.
Wayne, always good to talk to you. Braylon Edwards here, man. I remember last time we talked to you, we were talking about Jamal Williams coming here and how much he was going to be missed by Green Bay, and you were absolutely correct. What is it about these guys in Green Bay? They come here and they find a home. I'm talking about Malik Willis. Malik Willis comes to Green Bay. A lot of people wasn't even sure about him being quarterback in this league, and he's had nothing but success. I don't know who's going to be the quarterback on this coming Sunday, but Malik Willis, if he's a quarterback, seems like he's confident in Matt LaFleur. What is it about Malik that Matt LaFleur, they have that seems to be a relationship, a working relationship, if you will?
Well, the thing about Malik, with the front office, the pro personnel side of the front office, they do all the scouting during the summer and during preseason, and they felt Malik Willis had made a step forward in his development as an NFL quarterback. He's going into his 3rd year. He was a 3rd-round draft choice, obviously wasn't ready to play, played a little bit as a rookie and didn't get to play a whole lot last year. But they noticed that he was starting to do some of the things that pro quarterbacks are able to do. So at the end of preseason, they had 2 quarterbacks they had drafted and were trying to develop as backups to Jordan Love. Neither player set the world on fire during the preseason. Brian Gutekunst made the bold move of cutting them both. And so for a few hours, the Packers are sitting there. We don't have a backup quarterback here now. So, and then he went to Tennessee, sent a 7th-round draft pick down to Tennessee for Malik Willis. And the thing that impressed the Packers the most, and they knew this going in, he scored a 32 on the Wonderlic, okay, coming out of college. So he's a smart guy, okay? He has, he can comprehend things. But what's impressed the coaching staff here was how quickly he picked up the system. Within 10 days of him being in Green Bay, when they went to Brazil, he was the backup quarterback, not Sean Clifford, who had been on the team all of last year. So it was interesting in that regard. And then Jordan Love goes down with an injury. Now it's Malik Willis for the next 2 weeks. And they handled him with kid gloves. They allowed him to do what he could do, and they expanded that the following week, and they won 2 games. And then last week he came in, and I thought just the way the play calling was handled with Malik in the lineup, that was a little bit different than when Jordan's in there. They did a great job of, matriculating another win, because Willis had to get that game done. He had to win that game down the stretch.
Yeah, he definitely had to win that game down the stretch, man, and kudos to Willis for being able to get it done. You talk about the wide receivers for the Green Bay Packers. It just seems like my whole lifetime, the wide receivers of the Green Bay Packers have always been substantial, whether you want to go back to Robert Brooks or Sterling Sharp, or whether you want to come now to Jaden Reed and Romeo Doubs. What is it about the scouting department as it relates to the wide receiver position? Because it's one that they are always truly blessed, the wide receiver position. They never go more than a year without having a group of guys that can make it happen. I mean, even when I was in the league, it was like, dang, I got to compete against Greg Jennings, Donald Driver, Jordy Nelson. It's always some receivers in Green Bay.
Yeah, they've had great luck, especially in the second round with wide receivers. People have criticized them for not drafting a wide receiver in the first round. Well, when you're as productive as they are in the second round with these receivers, Romeo Doubs, second-round pick, Jaden Reed, who's probably the best receiver they have, second-round pick, Christian Watson, second-round pick. He's just scratching the surface. The quarterback instability due to injury this year has kind of skewed things as far as receivers emerging and putting up big numbers. but they've got a bunch of them. They're going to go too deep at all three of those receiver positions, and then you throw in Tucker Kraft, and he's starting to look like that tight end out in San Francisco. He's a complete tight end player, but he's a guy who's just a rugged runner when he has the football in his hands, and he does it all. And he's an emerging talent, much like Sam Laporta was for Detroit a year ago.
Wayne, when I was growing up in the 70s, the NFC Central was like Minnesota, and that was it. The rest of them were the dregs of the league. And now you look at this division, the new NFC North, and it's second to none now. I haven't seen a turnaround of a division like this in my entire football life. What do you take for these four teams going forward?
Well, it's funny. I've been around this division since 1985, my first year in Chicago with the Bears, and I've never seen this division top to bottom, top to bottom this good. I don't know if there's anybody of the ilk of the 85 Bears in it, but there doesn't have to be. Teams aren't that good these days. You don't have to be that good to win it all. In terms of the way it used to be, you had to have a super team to win it all back in the 70s and 60s and 80s, that kind of thing. But it's really interesting because they're all good. Chicago should have won that game at Washington. That was as fluky a situation as you're ever going to come across. But they're good. These teams are just really good. And we've had, 2 division games so far, right?
That's it.
We're almost halfway through the season. We've only had – this is going to be the 3rd division game. That's it so far. It's going to be a bloodbath down the stretch, that's for sure.
If you had to rank the teams right now, the whole league, what would be your top 5 right now, 1 to 5?
Oh, boy, whole league. Gosh, I wish I had a standings in front of me. But here's what I would say. Detroit, number 1. Kansas City, number 2. Probably Baltimore, number 3.
I'm right with you.
And
right
then
now.
from there, I'm sorry?
I said I'm right with you so far. I'm right with you.
Yeah, I mean, and Baltimore's flawed. Their defenses are very good. And I think Lamar Jackson will cough it up when it really counts. At least that's what he's always done. So, beyond that, then you get to that next tier of teams, and it's a little harder to make a distinction. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Give me a team. Who's on your list? Who is on your list?
I'd have the Packers right there at number 4, and number 5 right. And number 5, I'd put Washington right now. The way I'm looking at them, I think the Rams. I don't think the Rams are out of it. To tell you the truth, I don't think the Rams are out of this thing.
I would have put Minnesota up higher. I would have probably had Minnesota 4, maybe Green Bay 5. Washington in the discussion, but not top 5. I don't believe in them yet. Boy, and then you go from there, and it's going to be an interesting year. And here's the thing, guys. If you're super today, the only thing I'd be worried about as a Lions fan today is we're playing too good. Because there's no way in 2 months when you want to be playing this good, in January I'm talking about, you're going to be playing this good. There's just no way. I mean, hey, it was San Francisco's year last year, right?
Yep.
When they had a 3-game losing streak, came back, they were gangbusters, right? For about 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks. Then they started to fall off a little bit. They lost the last game to the Rams or something like that. Anyway, they kind of fell off. And then in January, they weren't playing very well. And it was this is their year. They got everybody, and they no injuries, all this other stuff. Shanahan's going to win the Super Bowl, right? The Packers could have beaten them. The Lions should have beaten them. And then they go to the Super Bowl. They're leading Kansas City. They can't pull away because that defense is too good at KC. Somehow Kansas City gets the game tied and it sends it to overtime. And you know what happens at overtime when Patrick Mahomes is on the other team, right? You don't have to watch that. You know what's going to happen. And that's what happened to San Francisco. So look where they are now. We don't even have them in the top 5. I know they're injured and beat up and everything. But you know what? The whole discussion on them in the preseason was everybody holding out. That team's not focused the way it was last year. Now, they play in a terrible division, and someone will have to deal with them in January. But trust me, they're not the team they were a year ago.
And that's why, Wayne, you're exactly right. But that's why we here in Detroit are sitting here saying, okay, in a go-for-it year, just because you're good this year doesn't mean you're going to be good next year. Just because you have a chance to win the Super Bowl this year doesn't mean that same opportunity is going to be afforded next year. That is why we are desperate for a trade, something big, a Myles Garrett, a Max Crosby here in Detroit. Is Green Bay looking for help elsewhere? The trade deadline is coming up on Tuesday. That's obviously, I look at Detroit and Green Bay as the two best teams in the NFC. To hell with Kansas City and Baltimore on the other side. It's going to be Detroit and Green Bay, in my opinion, when it's all said and done in January. Are they looking for help over the next 5 days?
Yeah, I can tell you for sure they're looking, but they don't feel as compelled perhaps to make a move as the Lions do. Zadarius Smith is a name I keep hearing coming up with the Detroit Lions, and it'll be interesting to see if they can. They really need to get the Packers are the same way, but the Packers feel they've got good young people on that defensive line that hopefully will eventually find their way to the quarterback. But if there's a weakness for the Packers defensively, they haven't gotten enough pass rush pressure from their four-man down line. They've had to resort to more blitzing. Without Hutchison and Barnes and Detroit just hasn't been able to generate as much pressure with their four-man down line as they'd like. So if they could get a Zadarius Smith in there, I think that would change everything. I think that would do for them what the kid that Chicago got from Washington did a year ago for them.
Yeah, Montez Sweat.
Yeah.
It is. That's excellent point, Wayne. Last one from me here as far as Aaron Rodgers goes. You've covered Aaron Rodgers basically his whole career. To see him now, what is your take on him going forward and the Jets' mess?
It's a dumpster fire. For a while, he had the fire under control a little bit, but the Jets are a dumpster fire. I mean, it's going to take more than one guy to turn that thing around. They went out and got Devontae Adams. That's great for the offense, but it didn't help the offensive line, and that's really where they're having trouble, in my opinion. So, I don't know what to tell you except that it just doesn't look good. They don't look good on offense. Aaron is not the player he was 3 years ago when he was an MVP. It's sad to say, but 40 has a way of catching up with you.
Unless you're Tom Brady. Hey, Wayne, does last one, and thanks so much for the time. Does Jordan Love play this week?
I'm just guessing, and I don't know if he's going to practice. I don't think he's practicing these first 2 days. I think he will. I just think somehow he'll will himself into that game. What they have to determine as a coaching staff and as an organization is, hey, listen, do we want to give him a week off here? We got a bye week coming up. Get him healthy down the stretch, regardless of who wins this football game Sunday in Lambeau Field. There's a hell of a lot more ball game left. I could see an argument that way that might happen. It might be happening right now behind closed doors. Who knows?
We hope that decision is made like that. Give him 2 weeks off.
Give him 2 weeks.
Give him 2 weeks off. Go ahead,
Wait. Hey, Wayne, that's coming from the two guys that wanted the Lions to draft Malik Willis 3 years ago.
Hey, we love Malik. We love Malik.
We got laughed off. We still get laughed at.
At two overall.
Yes.
hey, listen, when it comes to Malik Willis and you guys in your argument, just point to the passer rating. It's like 130.3.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
You know what, Wayne? I'll tell you, and Matt LaFleur doesn't get enough credit.
Oh.
It's not, where you go matters. Look at Sam Darnold with Kevin O'Connell. Where you go matters. I'm a firm believer. It's everything. It can be everything to a player.
In O'Connor, in Matt LaFleur, you're talking about two guys exactly. Those are two of the best offensive minds. The guy in Detroit is really good, obviously. But, Jared Goff goes to a situation, gets into an offense with Ben Johnson that fits him. And by the way, not just fits him, but they actually believe in the guy. And that's why he's taken off. That's why today he's the best quarterback in the league. You know that, right? I mean, Lamar may be the best dual-threat quarterback, but Jared Goff is playing better than anybody in the league and better than anybody's played in quite some time. Maybe since back to the Aaron Rodgers heyday.
Wow.
No doubt about it. We appreciate it, Wayne.
Thanks,
we can't
Wayne.
thank you enough. We'll listen to you call a game any day,
All
my
day
friend.
long.
One of the best
long.
to do
All right,
it.
guys.
We appreciate it.
Thanks,
Wayne
Wayne.
Larrivee here on Woodward Sports.
Take care, guys.
Take care.
Longtime radio voice of the Packers. Enjoy the game this
Bears
weekend.
before that.
Absolutely. It started with 85 Bears.
Yep.
Pretty cool stuff, man. I remember just...
Did you hear what he said about Jared Goff?
he is playing as not as good as, he is playing better than anybody right now in the NFL at quarterback. He is playing next level quarterback. He's the MVP right now, in my opinion.
He won Offensive Player of the Month, by the way, for the NFC.
And he should have.
Offensive Player of the Month.
And he should have. You're talking about 25 touchdowns and 19 incompletions. The Detroit Lions as a whole.
Fabulous.
That's just unheard
That's
of.
a mic drop. That's a mic drop.
Yeah, you said mic drop, so there's no need for me to add anything else. Just I would have loved to play for an individual that was in this type of groove, the Jared Goff. But it's not even just a groove, man. As Ryan Ermanni, it's what was built. You watch him in 2021, got better in 2022, got better in 2023, and here we are sitting in 2024. Like, he's a full-blown candidate for the MVP. And I don't think, like, I agree with Wayne Larrivee. He's number one. Like, if you want to talk about the best player and things of that nature and all the extra things that, Lamar Jackson can do versus what Jared Goff can do, that's not the conversation we're having right now. We're saying who's the MVP,
Mm-hmm.
who's the best player on the best team, who means the most to their team, who is getting the wins. Patrick Mahomes may be undefeated, but if you look at the stats, it's the defense that are winning those games. It's the running game that are winning those games. You look at this offense, you look at the Detroit Lions, Jared Goff, he's at Calais as that leader, so it's well-deserved right now. It's early, but he's number one in my book.
Matt, you asked a question to Wayne, who's the top 5 teams in football, and it feels like you struggled to come up with the 5th team. I'll give you the 5th team. Buffalo.
Yeah.
Buffalo. The Buffalo Bills now.
I'm telling you, your Rams, you guys picked them.
I know.
I'm on the Rams bandwagon.
I am too, but when you're talking to me about who the best team is right now in the league, I'd go with the Buffalo Bills over the LA Rams right now.
Well, I'll get you there. I'll give you that right now.
Yeah, right now.
But right now, the Rams are starting to get healthy. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, break time. When we come back, it is a Top 10 Thursday. Top 10 Thursday.
It's a fun one. It is a fun one.
Could it potentially be a Halloween edition?
You know what? I don't know. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
I wish we could play the Monster Mash.
The Monster Mash. Yeah, it is.
It is.
Okay. Sound effect Pete. But first, a message from KDK Law, dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, other family law issues. Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. 10 plus years of experience, 24/7 availability. Scan the QR code on your screen or call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you, and KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back.
I may be wearing the Water Boy outfit, tell you about water, but I'm going to tell you about coffee. You can fuel your Lions fandom with the perfect cup and become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Whether you're gearing up for a big game or savoring a quiet morning, Sabbath Coffee Roasters has you covered with fresh, locally roasted specialty coffee delivered right to your door. Head to www.sabbathcoffeeroasters.com. Choose your favorite roast, use the code word Woodward, and you'll get 25% off your first subscription order. Awake and unwind, support local, and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters. We're coming right back.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
Wings and football season just go hand in hand, so it only makes sense that Soroki's would give you signature wings. That's what they have now. For a limited time only, you gotta get some of these wings. 7 new scrumptious flavors. The best one being lemon pepper. Like, let's call it spade a spade. You know what time it is. They follow the motto, and they follow it to perfection. But if the wings are not your thing, then you can go back to what they do best, and that's crispy chicken and pizza. They still are known for crispy chicken and pizza, and you mix that well with those honey biscuits. They got a recipe over there at Soroki's that's cooking up, man. It's for the real fans' favorite, so why don't you pull up on them one time? Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential, with over 50 metropolitan Detroit locations. This is a gym for you because everybody's going there. Just because everybody's doing it doesn't make it the thing to do. But this is different because they understand that, look, man, it's a judgment-free zone. We don't want to judge me. We want you to come in, enjoy your work out at your own pace. Also, we want to provide you with a trainer with every membership. I repeat, every membership. And I think the biggest thing is it's fitness that fits into your budget. So don't worry, Planet Fitness has got you. Come on down. We'll get you fitted right away.
All right, welcome back. Hour number 2 of the program. Dr. Jeff Pierce, Michigan Sports and Spine, going to join us in about 30 minutes or so. But in the meantime, Braylon Edwards, it is a Top 10 Thursday.
Top 10 Thursdays. Look, every time we do Top 10 Thursdays, it's all related to football. It's something that is going on at the time sports-wise. But what about Halloween? It is October 31st. It is Halloween out there. So trunk and treat or trick or treats and things of that nature. So here we go. We got 2 separate top 5 lists that equates to top 10. Pete, which list are we putting up first?
I only have your photos here, my friend.
You don't have top 10 graphics?
Didn't get any.
You didn't get that from Ryan Lynch. Don't worry about that. We'll make this work.
We're going to make do. Look at that.
Oh, here we go.
Never mind. There we go. Look at Pete's spot. He was too busy eating, Braylon Edwards.
Come on,
he was too busy
That
eating.
good Soroki's.
He was eating at Soroki's.
Say,
Crispy
shout out to
chicken
Pete.
and wings.
Shout out to Pete who put on for the squad.
Crispy chicken and
Shout out
pizza.
to Pete who put on for the squad.
That's on me. Braylon, here we go. Which one would you like? Would you like costumes or?
Let's go slashers, man. Let's start off,
All
man.
right, we'll start with
I figure it's Halloween.
Slash.
We'll go top 5 slashers. This
like
is on
it.
me. Everybody else can add to the list. I'll start with number 5. I know what you did last summer. Look, I've never been scared of scary movies, including The Exorcist, man, except for when they came down backwards with the spider walk. That was very interesting. But this guy right here, I know what you did last summer, guys. So I believe like the hook, the cloud, he did his thing. He brought it back to what scary movies were like back in the 70s and 80s. So shout out to the guy from I Know What You Did Last Summer, even though he was killing people. Number 4, Freddy Krueger. Freddy Krueger, man. Freddy Krueger will hide in your dreams. You know the things. Dream Chasers was probably my favorite Freddy Krueger movie. That's part 3 because that introduced Lawrence Fishburne, who played one of the techs at the insane asylum. But Freddy Krueger, he can get you because of your dreams, but I just appreciate those that can kill you in the real
I love
world.
Freddy Krueger.
100%.
He was probably my guy. Freddy, above all else, Freddy Krueger. I
He's
don't know
funnier
why,
once
but
you get older.
He's the funniest guy. Him, Leprechaun, and Chucky probably the funniest ones, but like, I couldn't put him above these next three. Jason's. Like, how could you go against Jason Voorhees, the hockey goalie mask? Like, never makes a comment, never says anything. He just keeps it coming forward. But also, unlike number one, who's my favorite, Jason can run too.
He can.
Like Jason could be a DN.
Yeah, Mike go walk you down. Jason will chase you for real.
100%. If you're looking at number two and you're wondering why do I have Chucky above, these guys underneath him, Chucky did the most with his size. I've seen Chucky put people in the elevator. I've seen him put people in the garbage disposal. I've seen him stab people, shoot people, fires, the whole 9 yards. I know my mom's gonna kill me for this. I'm sorry, Mom. But Chucky, for his size, Chucky was phenomenal. It's like Isaiah Thomas. Like, for his size, you can put him against any one of the heavy hitters.
Let it be known.
Charles Lee Ray was his real name. And then number one, look, man, Halloween.
That's my guy.
Is the name of the
bar none.
Best ever.
He was at Fox 2 today.
Michael Myers?
Yeah, he's the Halloween guy.
Got his head cut off and still coming.
Bald head guy.
Michael Myers is the guy. He is Halloween.
I never saw Halloween.
Stop playing.
Never saw it.
The original with Jamie Lee Curtis, 1978?
No. I just was never a Halloween guy.
Oh, come on.
All right, well, you're my mom and you do well together.
Like, I'm not a scary person, like a scary guy.
Same.
A horror film guy.
But it's
That horror. Not a
think part of
horror,
it, like, watching,
horror
like-
film guy.
Are you scared of the movies?
No, I never got into it.
But like, what about girls? Like when you're in high school and college and you watch
I was watching, the rom-coms.
Oh, you've been a cornball for a long time.
Dear John.
Yeah, this guy, get out of here. Michael Myers, he was the best. And little known fact, the Michael Myers mask is actually masked.
Don't know.
It's William Shatner.
Stop it, for real.
It's William Shatner.
Are you kidding?
So when they were trying to come up with the movie Halloween, they were coming up with the movie. They were already in production.
It do look like him.
They were trying to figure out what did they want the killer to look like. What was Michael Myers gonna look like? And so they go down to a costume store in Hollywood, and they get a William Shatner Star Trek mask, and then they paint it white. And they cut the eyeballs out, make it a little more sinister.
Oh, wow.
It is if you look at it now, it's a William Shatner Star Trek.
Billy
mask.
Shatner?
It's Bill.
Crazy.
AKA, get the picture. I knew Pete would know.
Oh, yeah.
AKA,
Pete knows all
and
that.
I'll tell you exactly
all
what.
up in it.
I'll tell you exactly. It wasn't even the Star Trek, man. I think it was TJ Hooker.
Okay.
I think it was
TJ Hooker.
I think it was the TJ
That was
Hooker.
a great
mask.
show.
There you go,
Heather
guys.
$100%.
Locklear.
See, there it is.
There it is.
It is a William Shatner. The one on the left
Wow.
is the exact mask.
Good
Shout
job,
out to
Pete.
Pete.
Fire.
Appreciate you, Pete.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, Ryan, he was at your place today?
Yeah.
Did he kill anybody?
No, not that I know of.
He
Friendly
kept it above board.
Friendly guy. Friendly fella.
That ain't him.
This is a solid list. You left one off. Scream.
So this is why I didn't put Scream on there. If we're talking about movies, I would have put it back on there because they brought back the old killer slasher movie. But in terms of the actual killers, they were cornballs.
Yeah, they were. I
They were
never
getting
liked
beat
them
up. They were getting flipped. Like the one girl in the first one, she flipped them in the garage.
Yeah.
Like
Can't be doing
these
that.
are killers. Like you're not doing that to these
I agree.
individuals. So
And
that's
you
why I
left,
hated
no
them.
Leprechaun? You left Leprechaun on?
Leprechaun's
You mentioned them.
Leprechaun's my person, but like
You know Leprechaun 2 is the
Leprechaun
best.
does. It's not synonymous with Halloween, but if we're
No,
just
I
doing,
get you.
Like he's,
Right, you got to watch Halloween.
he's got the
original.
limericks.
Yeah, I
he's
give
rhyming
it a
and
shot.
killing at the same
An hour
time.
and 25
Go.
minutes.
So yeah, this is top 5
music.
slashers.
Yeah.
You guys, this is good. It's a good list.
Yeah, it's a great list.
All right.
It's a great list. It's not my forte. Like, scary movies are not my forte. I like suspense thrillers instead of like horror films.
But suspense thriller is a term that really is created within the last like 15, 20
Yes.
years.
But
Like
I
so
like
when we were in middle school and there was no suspense thriller. The suspense thrillers were more of those movies that win the Oscars.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the way, look out the window. How beautiful! This is a Halloween perfection.
It's
right
usually
now.
raining.
This good.
This is perfection.
Gorgeous.
It's usually
gorgeous.
raining and cold.
God, I love October.
You left
Very
Leatherface
good.
off as well.
Do you know
Mr.
we
Chainsaw
fall back
Massacre.
this weekend?
Yeah, I do.
Ooh,
The
Chainsaw-
clocks fall
Now, that
back.
would be a good one.
Yeah, that's a
Texas
good one.
Chainsaw
Fall back.
Massacre. His name was Leatherface.
Leatherface, yeah.
Leatherface. I'll
Did you
drop
know that, Braylon? We
That's
fall
a good
back
one.
this weekend.
I did know that.
clock?
I did know that. I need that because I'm tired.
I'm tired.
You get that extra hour sleep, but you lose an hour of daylight.
Next 5 out of 10. These are costumes. And man, you saw some
Oh
of the
my
costumes
God.
already.
These
This
are
is
classic.
just some fun costumes that I wore over the past
Oh my God.
41 years or so. We got pictures. We'll do this and then Peter do the pictures. So number one, I'm a Ninja Turtle guy, man. You know what it is.
Braylon costumes.
But we can get you guys in here.
No,
Kid
I
and
love
Play
it.
was recent. Pastor Dad was recent. Jimi Hendrix, one of my favorite
That's
musicians.
funny.
And then Tiger Woods, I don't have the picture of. Everybody else I do. The Tiger Woods was when he got in trouble in 2009.
Uh-oh.
So I had like a torn golf shirt and a bunch of lipstick. Like all over my shirt, and I had like a circle black eye, and like, I was like walking around the club.
Here's Braylon. Here's Jimmy.
Jimmy
Jimi Hendrix.
This is Jimmy. You see, I'm about 210 pounds. This is 06 in Cleveland. Oh no, this ain't 08 in Cleveland. Right by the House of Blues. What else do we have on here, Pete? What other costume?
Dude, you had some fun in your day.
Well, I'm gonna go in order here, so we'll go to the next one.
Pastor Dab, isn't it?
Pastor Dab.
Wait till you see this one.
Now help me out with Pastor Dab.
Okay.
Remind me.
This is it. Well, no, he where's that, Pete?
I'm coming up. I'm just zooming in on it for you, my friend.
Oh, okay. So
Okay.
Remember when the dab was out? Everybody was running around dabbing.
Yeah.
So this is when I was in the gym. I had just moved back from Miami and just retired. I was Pastor Dab. You know the nun suits, the nun outfits?
Oh yeah.
Well, I just cut the sleeves off, and obviously I didn't wear the headpiece for the nuns. But this is Pastor Dab.
You look like something else. I'll
If-
leave off here. But that's what this looks like.
You know what? Watch yourself over there, KG. But this is Pastor Dab. If you don't want to come pray, Pastor Dab put them hands on.
Oh, word.
You pray.
I wouldn't mess with you, Bray.
All right. This was a couple years ago. Kid and Play, the modern version.
Hey.
This is real hair, by the way.
Hey.
Oh my God.
That's my hair. Like it was. I styled
teased
it
it
up,
up?
did the thing. I cut it that day. Cut it.
Nice.
The
Did
modern
you
Kid and
stick
Play.
your finger in an electric socket?
I
for
did.
that
No,
one?
I did not. I did not. I just had a little cutoff while I was asleep.
Did you have somebody to do the dance with?
Oh, 100%.
Oh, that's what's up.
100%. Me and my boy
Respect.
Dave Jackson. Shout out to Dave Jackson, man. We did
Dave
the
Jackson, Pistons.
I think we went to, I want to say, the Fillmore.
Oh,
Fillmore
okay,
used to be a
yeah.
big Halloween party there. And then, And
What
then
about
the
Raphael?
Well, this is the
Well,
last
hang on.
one.
I'm gonna
And
get
here
this
it is.
one. This is the best photo.
Wait till you see the age on this one, though. I gotta warn
Here we
you.
go.
All right, Bray is a
3,
Ninja
2,
Turtle.
1.
Oh!
Little Bray.
Hey, that was Little Bray, man. This is literally the year I moved. I think this was Halloween '89, and then we moved to Atlanta a couple months later. So, this is young Raphael.
Dude, that's awesome.
How
man.
old were you?
Right there, I was 6.
Oh.
I was 6.
Here, I got another
That's
cute
just
picture
awesome.
of Bray here. Here we go, guys.
What, another one? Hold on.
Another one.
Yeah, this
That-
I was
that's
also
what
a
I like.
pastor for this Halloween.
Right.
I was a shady pastor.
And then
You
we
look
got the
like
last one
Alfonso
here, Bray.
Riviera.
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
This is a little firefighter right there, man. That's what it is.
Dang,
Oh, wow.
Gray.
Chippendale over here.
You know what time it is.
Hey,
right.
man, it's
You know what
the
time
holiday,
it is.
comes
You on
with
somebody
Halloween.
What do you make of
calendar,
that, Bray? Tom Bazaway?
Now, which costume did you get the most action from?
Well,
Clearly,
Raphael didn't get no action. Raphael didn't get no action. Maz, I would have to say,
Oh, man.
This one.
it would be the butt naked guy.
Oh, yeah.
It would be the guy.
Did you?
firefighter.
By the way, did you see that butt naked guy walking through New York City?
Wait, what?
Naked
Definitely
cowboy?
did not.
No, man.
Definitely did not. What happened?
Oh, man, yesterday some
That's just a regular day in New York.
butt naked guy with a machete, like just walking through New York City.
Only on
To
the
New
9.
York City.
Did you see that on the 9?
No, I saw that on social media. We
Oh.
wouldn't play anything like that.
Well, I think you could block
No.
it out.
No, we wouldn't play anything
I think
like
you should
that.
play it tomorrow.
No, smile
Only
and
in New
laugh,
York.
smile and
Only
laugh.
in
That's
New
what
York.
I'm all about on television
right.
and in life, by the way.
Yes.
Smile and nods, laugh, smile, be good. Braylon, that's a great list.
It was fun. I figured we had some fun with it. Switch the things up where I was so down into top 10 running backs that are averaging. Nah, this is a little more fun.
I think I'm scarred from Halloween, and I don't know what my disdain for Halloween is.
Right.
I do enjoy it for the kids. I do love it for the kids. It is like I am getting out of here a little bit early today because I'm going to go trick or treat with the kids. The kids are so excited, and they cannot wait for Dad to come home. And I'm like, that makes my life. But I hate it for adults. Even earlier today, I had to dress up for Halloween.
Why do you hate it?
I just hate it.
I love it.
I don't know. I think it was because back in the day when I was a kid, I don't know, but I dressed up as a girl.
Okay.
And it was like not great.
All right.
It was just not.
You don't
great
like the whole.
How old were you?
I don't know. I was like 10 or 11.
You don't like the
something
decorations
like
that people do nowadays?
I love it.
The decorations are second to none. They're better than Christmas decorations.
Listen to me. I'm not talking about Halloween. I'm talking about adults dressing up in costumes.
Okay.
Not
so if you got invited to a costume party, an adult costume party, even though everyone else is dressed,
show up as Ryan
I will
Ermanni.
go, but I loathe going.
Really?
Show up as a Fox 2 anchor.
Yeah.
Do you go to Halloween parties, man? What do you
Hell
dress
yeah.
up? What do you dress up as typically?
something different every year. My wife makes homemade costumes.
Okay.
Like, she'll make us. One time she had she makes us boxes of cereal where we were all different cereals.
That's great.
The whole family.
Wow, that's dope.
Then we were
That's awesome.
We were condiments. I was ketchup. She was mustard.
You were a condom?
No, I knew you were saying that. Condiments. Condiments.
Man's
You look more like
I know, bro.
Ads.
Man, as a walking Trojan, that's hilarious.
Hey, there's so many. When I was a kid, of course, I was Batman.
Ketchup right on the
Really?
I was
Really?
Batman, right? Who wasn't Batman as a kid? Who wasn't Superman?
I wasn't.
That's a sin. You were not
No,
Batman?
I was the Incredible Hulk one year.
Okay.
I was Freddy Krueger one year.
What are you guys laughing at? What did I miss?
Tommy, you missed ketchup. Walk
Oh.
by. Literally, you just said condiments.
No, we were-
Heinz t-shirt.
We were
walked
talking
right
about
by.
condiments.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
Give me a break. Talk
it's
about
my
something.
favorite season of the year, and now
Definitely my favorite season
now,
of the year.
now I got to put up with the winds of November into December snow. And all
Oh
that
man!
crap.
Remember when you cussed it?
lambskin.
Dude, it doesn't snow anymore. You just got to deal with snow
70s,
twice
dude.
now.
Okay.
Just got to deal with snow twice a year.
You
That's
think?
all you're gonna get. That's all you're gonna
man.
get. It's warmer now.
All right.
But I will say this though, and jumping back into the conversation, it feels like it rains or it's windy, cold every freaking October 31st. Like this right here, like this looks unusual.
I mean, this is crazy what the kids are gonna be able to do out there, man.
I
Go get
trick
some
or treat.
candy.
My kids are all grown. Guess what? I go find my nieces and nephew, cousins.
You can come with us tonight.
I'm in Birmingham tonight. I'm going to
Oh.
go out with my cousins. They're kids. I just got to go trick or treating. It's fun. I love seeing the kids ring the bell.
that. I'm talking about adults.
Yeah, he just don't like wearing
dressing
costume.
up.
He don't like the adults, man.
All right.
I don't want to look like I make myself look like an idiot on the daily basis. I don't need a costume to help me out.
Hey, today I'm Mike Stanton from the Marlins. Not Giancarlo. I'm Mike Stanton. I got the Stanton jersey. Figured I'd wear the orange jersey. Pete, you're Bobby Boucher today.
Boucher.
That's a good one.
Kenny, I don't know what you are.
I'm Snoop Dogg. You
You're
see my
Snoop Dogg?
Death Row shirt on, man. Snoop
Okay.
D-O-double-G, why D-O-double-G?
And Ryan, he was Mario earlier today. Do we have Mario's picture?
Here, I'll give you a picture of Mario.
yeah, shoot me Mario.
Hold on, I'll shoot you a picture. In the meantime, we'll take a break. Then come back, we'll go around the NFL. How about it? Shall we do that? But first, a message from us here at Woodward Sports. It starts off, game day starts off with Woodward in Maine from 8 a.m. to 9. Matt Broder, Terry Foster, Woodward in Maine every Sunday. Brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller, your local long drink, Sabbath Coffee, and Tullamore do Irish whiskey. Then stick around for the New Holland Brewing Company Lions pregame show. Neil Rule, Sean Belegian, 10 a.m. to noon. That will happen back here this week in studio, 10 a.m. to noon. When we are at home for home games, it happens at Second Best Bar in Detroit. Brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller, your local long drink, Sabbath Coffee, Tullamore do Irish whiskey, and Les Stanford Chevrolet. And now Tom Mazaway, we are talking about the Salvation Army.
Oh, let me get my bell.
Oh, God. Lady
Hey,
James, girls, watch out.
We're going to be out there soon, guys. You guys got to join us as well. You got to start with the Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign. Visit registertoring.com. Sign up for some shifts. You can do a 2-hour shift at a physical Red Kettle site, like in front of a store, in front of Kroger. We're going to be across the street next month at Kroger. You're going to have to come out and see us, or you can do it from home. It's called virtual bell ringing, and you can start making money for the Salvation Army right now. Now, the traditional bell ringing doesn't begin until Friday, November 7th, and runs through Christmas Eve, excluding Thanksgiving and Sundays. To sign up for volunteer shifts, check out registertoring.com. It's a great thing, guys. It's the holiday season. Salvation Army, Red Kettle campaigns.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
1800 Tequila, a.k.a. 1800, the official tequila of Woodward Sports watch parties and post-game show. Join 1800 Tequila every Lions game and every Woodward Sports Sunday live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township and celebrate the wins with smooth 1800 Tequila, proud sponsor of your and our Detroit Lions. 1800 Tequila, the best taste in tequila, and please, y'all, drink responsibly.
And welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazaway, KG, Pete Spivak here on a Halloween Thursday show, having a little fun here today. Gentlemen, we are going to go around the NFL, shall we? Tom Mazaway, take it away.
We shall. Let's start with our own Detroit Lions going at the Packers this weekend. Again, they are favored at Lambeau Field. Lions are 3.5-point favored. We don't know yet who will be the quarterback for the Packers. It could be an injured Jordan Love, or it could be our main man, Malik Willis. You heard Wayne Larrivee, the great voice of the Packers, a little bit earlier on the show. If you missed it, make sure you go back and give it a listen. But Penei Sewell was interviewed by the guys yesterday, led by Eric Woodward. He was there. Put out a little tweet here, Ryan. You want to give that a read for me?
Yeah,
Penei Sewell on the Jamison Williams fiasco, or whatever you want to call
Eric
it.
Woodward says that Penei Sewell says the team is there for Jamison through these tough times, just kind of connecting with him on a deeper level, like as a human being at the end of the day, Sewell told ESPN. I think a lot of people outside the building kind of forgot that. Penei Sewell on helping Lions, Jamison Williams, just being there for each other. The JMO I know, he's smiling and laughing all the time. He tells me he's good, and I trust him. At the end of the day, he's a grown man and he can handle his business. I think for the most part, the Lions have absolutely stood behind Jamison Williams. And I told you how I stood on it before the show. I wish he had the proper paperwork in place, but to me, and again, it sounds like I'm minimizing it. I'm not, but to me, this is a big nothing burger.
Yeah.
Even down to the police officers deserve the right to use some discretion as well.
I agree.
I believe that. So, even people went, well, he's getting special treatment. There are special circumstances, and
That's life.
Especially if he was as polite to them.
Right. So, you move on, you take your medicine, and hopefully nothing else happens, in my opinion.
Well, Dan Campbell spoke yesterday before practice. A lot of guys missed practice yesterday, but mainly he just gave them the day off to chill and to get healthy. There are a few injuries. We'll talk to Dr. Pierce in a few minutes, but he did say, hey, we're working hard in practice.
Right now, we keep hitting it up, and we'll be padding up tomorrow. We'll be bringing it, and that's the best way. You want to get better at it, you want to work on it, you got to work on it full speed, just like a game situation, and get some live reps at it. So we're going to keep doing that because we know teams are going to keep attacking us that way.
Oh, Dan Campbell talking about that, right? Giving guys off to chill out at this time of the year. You good with that?
Absolutely. I mean, he knows his team better than anybody, and Wayne Larrivee talked about how the Lions are playing so good now. You almost don't want them to play so good because there's no way they can play this good later in the season. I don't buy that, actually. I just don't believe that. You're not going to just take it down a notch because you don't think you should be hitting on all cylinders now. I think for a lot of teams, they don't hit on all cylinders because their teams aren't as good. Their coaching staffs aren't as intact. So for teams that it takes a while to play good, those teams probably came together at the beginning of the year and they're working through an entire season to get good. This team's seemingly been together for the last 2.5 years. Really been together for the last 2.5 years. So it's a unique spot for this football team.
Yeah, it's a unique spot for the football team, but just like when they started, it was one thing, and now they've gotten to another thing. There's always something new in the NFL, Ryan Ermanni. I think the new thing for the Detroit Lions is being this good, being this bored, trying to figure out ways to stay involved. Like, I've been on teams where you're cooking with grease and you're legitimately on the sideline bored. Like, it sounds crazy, but you're legitimately on the sideline. Like, all right, cool, we're going there, boom, boom, and you're dialing in. But, they got the guys in the right position. It starts with Jared Goff. So excited to see what the Lions are going to do on that regard. I mean, they're playing great football, but it seems like they're continued focus. It seems like they've had a lot of injuries. They've had a lot of distractions. They've had all types of things. So I think those things won't allow them to completely, unplug from what's going on this season. Those things make them actually stay even more engaged in the season, even more engaged in the study, in the film, in the practice, in the minor details. So I think the injuries, I think all the distractions, they're keeping them focused.
And if I may, did you hear what Belichick said about this team yesterday on the Pat
He talks about everybody.
show?
What do you say about
We have.
I mean, let's fire that off.
Coach, how do you feel about the Lions? Obviously, similar to the Denver situation, they're playing the Panthers and the Lions are playing the Titans. But when a team that is supposed to win just completely obliterates the other team, what do you think that says about both the culture of MCDC and how the players believe in what they're doing? And do you think they're the most complete team in the entire NFL when you look at both the NFC and AFC?
Well, we're going to find out going through that NFC North. There'll be some really competitive games there, and we'll see how all that, that's 6 games in that division. So we'll see how it goes. But sometimes things just go right for you, and you have those big wins. And not taking anything away from the Lions because I think they're playing really well. I like their toughness, and I think that when you look at the records of the teams the week after they've played the Lions, that hasn't been very good. And I think that the Lions' physicality takes a toll on some of their opponents, not just in the game they played, but in the coming weeks. But offensively, it starts with the offensive line. I think they have 3 of the best offensive linemen in the league, and the tackles and the center. Penei Sewell's fantastic, and so that really helps the running game. It helps the passing game, and then they have some very explosive players as well, and obviously are playing well on defense. Hutchinson's a big loss. We'll see how that affects them going forward, but they can score a lot of points, and in the end, though, I think that it's going to come down to their defense, and I've been there before where you can score a lot of points, but sometimes you run into really good teams at the end of the season and you can't hang up 45 points, and then you've got to play defense, and you've got to you might have to win 17-14. And so I think, if I was Detroit, keep grinding, keep working to improve the things that they're going to need, in the end. It's not always going to be this easy, but give them credit. They did a great job yesterday of, like you said, just, wiping out an opponent that they should beat, and they were ready to go. And Coach Campbell had them ready to go, and they were hitting on all cylinders and had 200 yards of offense and 50-some points. So that's pretty impressive.
I'd say 3 massive returns, too. Leaf gets a game ball, celebrates afterwards. It was, I love everything they're doing up there in Detroit, even those Applebee's commercials.
Yeah,
I think Applebee's.
Loves the Detroit Lions. Everything starts with the offensive line, but they can't hang 45 points at the end of the year on teams, so they got to shore it up defensively. I'm not sure. Loves Penei Sewell. Who doesn't love Penei Sewell? I'm not sure they can't hang 45 points on teams. Do
you want to outscore teams?
No.
Right.
If I did, I would have loved the 67-65 game that Rich Rod had over Illinois or whatever the score was. It was terrible.
There aren't many Super Bowls that are really shootouts. There are a lot. They can score a lot, but you're going to win a game. You're going to win with your defense when it comes down to it at the end. But this team will win with their offense, but the defense has got to help. And you can't hang Terry and Arnold and Brian Branch and those guys out to dry. Carlton Davis. They do a great job, but they're going to run out of steam.
Brett Holmes owes it to the players on that team to put them in the best possible chance to win a Super Bowl. And the way to do that is by making a deal. We all believe that.
Yeah, no, we all believe that, and I think the deal's going to happen. It's just about what's going to do, what players, what 2 players, how you pick them. It's going to happen. I'm telling you guys right now, it's going to be a Monday a.m. type deal, man. It's going to be Monday a.m. when the teams are just like, all right, cool, look, you've worn us down. Yeah, we agreed to the deal. This is what we'll do. So we'll be waiting. I think they will do something. And like you said, Brad Holmes has done things before, and I think that's what people need to pay attention to. He's done things before that you did not think the Lions would do, and you did not think that he would do.
Thursday night football tonight, Maz?
Thursday night football tonight. Got a real good one. Not really. It's the 6-2 Texans at the 2-6 New York Jets from the Meadowlands.
Jets got to win tonight, right?
They're 2-point favorites. They're 2-point favorites.
They not winning.
They shouldn't be favored over Grosse Pointe South.
Well,
they lost to the Patriots.
By the way, this is their 5th primetime game. Thank God there's only one more primetime game left. And supposedly they could get them out of that. They will flex them out of that Sunday night game. I think it's against the Denver Broncos.
Are they going to go 0-7? Because right now they're 0-3 on primetime. Mm-hmm. They're 0-3, 0-4 in their schedule this year, and they're 0-7.
They're horrible. They're horrible.
They're horrible.
But it's like Wayne Larrabee said, and it's one of those echoing comments. You can bring in Devontae Adams, you can have a Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, but the offensive line has struggled for the Jets in a catastrophic type way. It doesn't matter who you have if you can't block.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say the Jets play a complete game tonight and win by more than a touchdown.
Devontae Adams, 2 touchdowns tonight.
You think so?
Yeah.
I wouldn't deny it. Yep. I wouldn't bet on it, but I wouldn't deny it.
I'm telling you, Bri, bet Devontae Adams to score a touchdown tonight.
Are you as confident about that as I was last night?
Yes.
Okay.
For sure.
No, I'm saying
that means Texans money line is what that means.
For sure. I didn't say the Jets are going to win. I think they will, though.
Because, at some point, Aaron's going to force it. Aaron's got to give him a touchdown. Like, look, you got here. You came here. We got to get you. We got to reward you, get you in the end zone. At some point, it becomes about the stats and not the team.
Guys, Dr. Pierce is going to take my seat momentarily. I got a trick-or-treat obligation I've got with my kids, so I'm going to get out of here. Braylon, Maz, Dr. Pierce next.
Tell Luke and Lydia we said hello.
Thank you. But first, a message from the postgame show.
That's right. It's Anson and Stick, and it is immediately following the game. It's Hayes Soto. That's where they get down. It's live at Hayes Soto. So if you guys want to pull up, you want to enjoy a drink, you want to enjoy some food, you want to enjoy some fun, you want to enjoy some Lions camaraderie, come on down to Hayes Social, man. That's where it gets active, man. These guys, and they're very into it. Look, you guys can call in too. You can comment. The chat goes up as soon as the game starts, and these guys, they dial in with you. Soroki's is one of the sponsors. You know how we feel about Soroki's, as well as Sabbath Coffee Roasters, man. We tried a partnership with them this year, and it's going brilliantly so far. So try those guys out. And also, Taller Long Drink. It's Michigan's version of the gin citrus favorite drink in the country, but we have our own here in Michigan. It is Taller.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
You guys got to head to shop.woodwardsports.com right now and load up on some of the great Detroit sports merch that we offer over here at our store. The Red Wings are back in season. The Pistons are back in season. Go show your support. Go to shop.woodwardsports.com and load up on some of the greatest Detroit sports merch around town. Braylon Edwards, my man.
Last night I told you, I begged you on the show, I freaking begged you. I told you I had a guaranteed thing for you. I said, you go to Caesars, you got to bet Aaron Judge home run. Tom Masway, did you make that bet?
I did.
Pete Spivak, did you make that bet?
Oh, you know I did.
KG, did you make that bet?
Nope, I was hating.
At the end of the day, man.
Not only that, I doubled down and said he's going to hit 2 home runs.
You know what?
I lost that one.
You know what? But I told you one, and that's the bet that works. Look, you got to do the Caesars Sportsbook. They're the sportsbook of Woodward Sports. And the cool thing about it is if you spend up to $1,000, if your bet loses, guess what? You'll get your money back in bonus bets. You'll be able to do this, but you got to use the promo code, and that word is Woodward1000. All caps, Woodward1000. Scan this QR code, Caesars Sportsbook. Got to make some money, man, and we're trying to give you the bets. Mass tonight.
Put 1,000 on right now if you're a first-time trier. $1,000 on Devontae Adams scoring a touchdown.
If it doesn't hit, you get your money back.
And it's going to hit.
You're going to get your money back.
Right. So listen to us, Woodward Sports. Go to Caesar Sportsbook, scan this QR code, use code word promo Woodward 1000. You'll get paid.
I'm doubling down my Aaron Judge money. I'm putting on Devontae Adams tonight.
Okay.
Did you really bet it?
$100.
Wow.
Whatever I won last night on Aaron Judge, I'm going to put on Devontae Adams tonight.
Man, I appreciate that.
Degenerates.
You know what else I appreciate? I appreciate my guy sitting to the left of me, Dr. Jeff Pierce.
Proud
Doc,
degenerates.
how you doing, Michigan Sports and Spine? We got you on the desk this week.
I know.
You're moving
I
up,
feel
man, like the Jeffersons.
Jeez.
How's it
I
feel
don't know
over
if I can
there?
handle this pressure over here.
Feel like Ryan
look at
Hermanni
yourself.
a little
I
bit?
got to stand. Like, next to you, I feel small.
You gotta get the, you know, I'm a big dude. You know what I'm saying?
flex
Gotta
for a minute?
Gotta get the chest out. You know, you got a certain
Chest
way in
out.
which you
All
have.
right, neck up.
What's new in
chest.
your world, man? We got you in studio, so you're not out of town. Everything's good.
Yeah, every other week we're out of town.
All right.
But no, our big thing is our golf event. That's, we want to talk about it now or later, but our big charity event for Athletes Unlimited. It's our 28th year. It's our
There it
second
is.
annual. Well, there it goes.
Look at
Awesome.
that.
Finally
You
made it.
started, so go ahead and let us know. I was able to attend last year. I'll be there
No, it
next
was awesome.
Thursday as well. Talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, basically all the impaired athletes you see around, we're the ones who help sponsor that, mostly with Rehab Institute of Michigan. It's something I started 28 years ago. I'm dating myself now, but basically all the impaired athletes, we get the wheelchair, adaptive chairs, bracing, anything they need, household items to make their life more convenient. So I was actually golfing the other day, and the gentleman, took a special interest, and he finally told me that his nephew actually lost his leg from a blood clot.
Jeez.
So he's a 18-year-old. So we're going to try to get him into our system. And, sometimes it's sad because you have young athletes. This is Paralympics, so it's physical disabilities. So with that, they start feeling like, oh, what am I going to do now? But we actually have two athletes that are striving for the Paralympics right now that should be at our event. And back in the day, we tried to bring out the Braylon Edwards and the Red Wings and stuff like that, turn them into the celebrities. And I think it was Darren who actually said, your celebrities are sitting in the chairs. So a lot of our athletes that we sponsor are celebrities.
Leave it to D-Mac to hit it home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no.
it's a big thing, especially, and it's a call out to anyone that has someone that's impaired, that's maybe sitting at home thinking that life isn't right. Sometimes it's a fortunate injury that we can, squeeze lemonade out of lemons right now. So.
Let me ask you this, Doc, because we got a couple first-time listeners that have never heard you talk, never heard about the good work that you do. What got you into that space? Maz has some great questions about some injuries, but what got you into the space of wanting to work with disabled athletes and being as big as you are in the community?
I mean, when I started out, I trained in Chicago, and I was touched. I don't want to get emotional. I get emotional.
No, go ahead. Go for it. It's a real deal that you're doing.
I can.
You should.
No crying on the air. But I only cry at my events. So basically the way I got started is I was a resident in Chicago, saw what they did at the Rehab Institute of Chicago. It was one of the leading facilities in the country. And as a resident, I got involved, and I helped them build with the Chicago Cubs and the White Sox wheelchair baseball. And we fought with wheelchair basketball. And what really touched me is that I went out to help one child ski down a hill. So we put him in what we call a bucket, took him down this hill, and mom and dad were crying. So
Instant connection.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So when I moved to Michigan and had all the connections I did right out of the gate, I said, we have to do this. And I went downtown, and they weren't available. And a team out of Ann Arbor heard about me that I was interested in sponsoring. And the Ann Arbor team didn't have any funding. And basically, I'm not crying yet.
I got you.
Basically, they had no funding, and I was a young first-year doctor with no money, all debt. It's true. You come out of medical school, not debt-free. And I ended up sponsoring them, and we ended up going 44-0. We won a national championship out of nowhere. It was pretty cool.
What sport was this?
It was wheelchair basketball.
Wow.
So it was the second time ever Detroit ever won a wheelchair basketball team. We were honored in Lansing. We had a standing ovation at the House of Representatives and all that. So a lot of accolades.
Awesome.
We've had champions since. We've had gold,
We've had medal winners in the Olympics, but it's not, we don't want, that's rare. We touch a lot of people for impairments. So it's what I do as a sports medicine doctor and also as a rehab doctor. It was a beautiful mixture, and I've had a lot of my family, friends be very supportive. We've raised millions of dollars over the last 28 years. And to tie in the Doc Rock, now that I'm talking too much, why'd you get me started on this? So you didn't have to talk?
I know it's something you're very passionate about, so we want to, want to open
but
it up
it's
for
like,
you.
People like Braylon, people, everybody, you guys are going to hopefully see it for the first time. But Braylon's been involved with it for 10 plus, maybe 15 years.
Yeah, first time I ever came was like maybe 13 years ago.
Yeah, so our mutual friend was one of the board members, and Braylon came. But the Red Wings, have been involved. We've done everything to having every channel at our event that I would stress out because as Channel 4 going to be there, is Fox, everybody going to be there, and I didn't care anymore because it really turned into celebrating our impaired athletes. So. And what I do, you hear that I'm Doc Rock and everything. My reputation nationally on their little website when they come to Detroit, that the doctor is a sports medicine doc, he does all this, but he doesn't take any money. He takes donations for his charity. So it's pretty cool.
So, Doc, how does people get involved for next Thursday?
I think it's up on the board. You can go to Athletes Unlimited. Or call the office, register, athletesunlimited.com. Basically, it's supporting the event. And
you have it on your website as well, MichiganSportsAndSpine.com? Pete's got it up there for us. It's on the screen for everybody.
Yeah, so, we love for everybody. We love new people. We're always looking for, the thing is, we don't say no. We don't say no to anything. We don't say no to anybody who needs help that qualifies as a disabled individual. We give away a scholarship. We actually give away a scholarship in Vladimir Constantino's honor.
Nice.
He's usually there. I hear there's a little conflict this year, but his progress brings emotions to a lot of people too. So that was the big thing the last 2 years, seeing his progression and doing much better. But yeah, we encourage everybody from if you have someone that is impaired to you want to help out. Like we're starting a junior board because we need that young energy in, and we're trying to take it to the next level. I mean, it's fun because getting Olympic athletes, but the word's not getting out there like we'd like to in the community. So we're working with Rehab Institute of Michigan and all that. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, little old me.
All right, check them out, guys. MichiganSportsAndSpine.com. Dr. Jeff Pierce.
I wasn't expecting you guys to do that to me today.
That's okay.
Hey, man, we're a fluid show.
This is broadcasting. You don't know what the hell's going to happen.
Yeah. No, I love it. But
hey, let's talk a little Lions with you. I know it's a team near and dear to your life.
Non-emotional.
Well, listen, man.
Hardcore
day job.
Last week when they were demolishing Tennessee, one bad thing that happened was Jared Goff's ankle, and I saw the video of it. It went under a player. It twisted, and he finished the game, but he was taped up. Finished the game. Went 3 quarters at least. Hendon Hooker came in relief. They expect him to play this week. He's had a day off from practice. An ankle on Jared Goff. He's not a very mobile quarterback to begin with. What happens with him going forward?
Kind of like what you said. I mean, he doesn't depend on all that mobility. They can tape that up to where it's almost feeling like a cast. I did see where he did get rolled up and he kind of limped off. At this point, he even says, I'm fine. That secret sauce is going to be important. Wrapping it, probably re-wrapping it at halftime is going to be key. The key point you said is he's not that mobile. He's not that dependent on his mobility. So he should be just fine. It's the planting and releasing. He may not be doing all the way, beyond. I usually use that 20 yards that they can just throw all upper body pretty strong for that 20 yards. But when you start getting over 25, 30, 40 yards, they do need to plant and rotate. Right. So we may see a little bit less longer distance.
Well, no Jamison Williams this week, so you're okay on that.
Yeah. There's no speedster on the sideline.
You're okay with that one. Now, Malcolm Rodriguez, not great news on him. Bad ankle. He's already had a bad ankle when he came into the year. Twists the other ankle now. He's probably not going to play this week. More than likely he's out, but they say he'll be good for the following week.
Yeah, I think that's a good call because let him rest. I mean, we need him. He's a instrumental player for us, but we're looking not to get on the Super Bowl hype, but we're looking for long term to get to the playoffs and everything else. So having him healthy later in the season is going to be way more important than jeopardizing him now.
God bless you. Salute.
That was a
Salute.
cough. That wasn't a sneeze.
It was a cough.
Cough you.
I switched it.
One other Lion on the list was Taylor Decker.
Yes.
Taylor Decker, he's been abused over the years. He hasn't had a great year this year. Didn't get paid, though. But he's got something that they just call it a chest injury.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what that is, but he's Taylor Decker.
Well, in hockey, they would call that an upper body injury.
Yeah.
So the chest injury, NFL has to be a little bit more detailed. So we're going to assume it is his chest. It's not our major pec injuries that we've seen, but it could be like a contusion or things like that. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't had any insight on that, but chest injuries usually, if he's still playing though, he's not out. He's playing.
Yeah, he'll play.
Yeah. So.
But he's been out of practice.
Right. So he's resting his ligament heels. Probably more of a muscle contusion. It could be a rib type of thing, but I think again some of that secret sauce and getting a little bit of prep before the game, get him ready for game time is probably going to happen pretty easily.
He got beat a couple of times last week. He didn't have his best game against Tennessee, who's probably got a pretty good defense, Bray. Am I wrong on that?
No, Tennessee definitely has a really good defense, especially if you look at that interior defensive line led by Jeff Simmons, and they allow Arden Key to make some plays as well as Harold Landry. I want to ask you a question, and this wasn't even on the docket, but I was thinking about it. Last year, Sam Laporta got hurt in the last regular season game. Still played in the playoffs, but he's been nursing that injury, and we just assumed coming into this season the injury would be healed because they didn't make a big deal about it last year. But I think sometimes like organizations, they overlook things and they still find their way into a season no matter how many months it's been. Sam Laporta doesn't look like he's completely healthy, even with the touchdown run that he had 2 weeks ago on a 49-yarder. Like, what do you make of that in terms of we thought it was one thing, maybe we didn't pay much as attention to it that we should have for the Detroit Lions and their training staff? Because he does not look like the same individual health-wise, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I've been looking at that because Laporta had the ankle injury now. He just seems to step off. It just like last year he had like a lot of pop to him.
I agree.
And this year, he was so excited. Is he hyped up? I don't know. I think right now he may be playing mentally cautiously, where he is subconsciously doing it, where he's like, I gotta stay healthy. I gotta get through the season. I can't go like a madman rookie. Is it a sign of maturity? I don't know, because it could be a few different things. And the other thing that I don't want to get into, but I'll bring up, is that I know a lot of, and you probably know more than I do, a lot of NFL players will keep it quiet from the trainer and from ownership for good reason. And it's subconsciously doing it like, I'll be fine. But it's almost like my young athletes on ice, they don't realize they're hurt, and he watches his own film, so he sees the difference. I'm sure it's being brought out. But sometimes it's not on purpose, it's subconscious that either I'm injured and I haven't fully rehabbed it because I didn't really explain it to anyone.
Yeah.
Or he's just playing more cautiously for, like, he's running gear 7, 8, like we talked about. Once you have an injury, I'm going to make an adjustment so I can get through the game. I know I don't have all 10 gears, but I'm fine in 6 and 7. If I get, that's almost like the way he's playing, the way I see it.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like he's using all 10 gears. For what reason? The ankle injury, do they get hesitant? Do they get cautious? Yeah, I think they do. And I don't know if it's purposeful, subconscious, but there's a mental component to it.
Hey, a couple of words from the chat for Dr. Pierce. Anthony Patterson says, this guy makes me want to work for him. Looking for a new gig soon, Doc. I'll look you up. And then Just a Fan writes, I always love listening to Dr. Jeff Pierce. Good mix of medicine, sports, and charity. So you got some fans in the chat. You're always asking if the fans enjoy this segment. They do. Enjoy your segment.
Keeps me motivated. It's like golf. I get one good swing and I'm back out again.
If I throw 3 in a row on the bowling, I'm like, come on, give me that ball again. I'm with you. Hey,
I truly appreciate the chat, and we're getting more used to how to integrate that in. But honestly, I appreciate the chat. The reason I really do this, now that you've got me going, is for education.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't do it. I've done well. We're doing well. Obviously, we want for you to come to Michigan Sports and Spine, but it's more for education. Because even talking to you guys, your injuries, you may go to the wrong person, and then you get misinformation, and then you're down like, well, heck, I guess I'm not going to get better. I have a lot of people who say, oh, I'm not going to get better from that. That's not the issue anymore. Usually it's the intelligence of the doctor. Like when I train my residents, patients aren't coming in here for their own good. And if you're telling me you can't figure out what's wrong, then it's on us. So it's a challenge, but the biggest thing is for education and us being a free platform for people to get to the right type of treatment that you need. And by the way, yeah, donate to the charity too is cool too, but that's not necessary. I just do it. I think built a good rapport with Braylon and Darren, and a lot of trust there. And I've worked through that in my career, but I think it's time a bigger audience and help people out is really what my calling at this point in my career is.
Are you doing good, Doc?
Doc, here's my last question for you as we get ready to wrap the show up this wonderful Thursday, beautiful Halloween Thursday out there. Freddie Freeman, you watch him in the World Series, and we saw him roll his ankle. We know what the ankle is. We know what his health just overall has been. He's getting older. He's an older player playing through injury. And yet he was able to do it. Obviously, he got the secret sauce. A couple times over, he got that secret cocktail.
He got a lot of it.
He got a lot of secret sauce, but he was able to manifest home runs. He was able to hit plays, double play. He was able to get doubles, drive runs in. It was just an amazing mind over matter with the help of the secret sauce. Give me an example of a time where you saw one of your players, one of your athletes just had to overcome, like, look, my ankle's messed up, my shoulder's messed up, my elbow's messed up, and just go on and put on a championship performance like that.
I mean,
because it's one for the ages.
I have to go with the Red Wings. I mean, my hockey players, no disrespect to my NFL guys.
No, and I love it.
But my NHL guys, when the time was just playing, like the Lindstroms, the Yzermans, the Fedorovs, I mean, they were all hurt. Brett Hull, Shanahan. I mean, all these guys, you see them.
Ozzy.
I mean, we would see them, but they were winning, right? So when you have a winning locker room, that injury is less.
Gotcha.
That's what Freeman's going through. I'm not missing out on this.
It's like I'm hurt, but
I don't get tomorrow. I'm playing today. Mm-hmm. And I got to see that for season after season with the Red Wings. I mean, that was the infection of it. That was the infection of this city. It's like I'm not missing out. This is fun. Every one of those guys had injuries that they overcame. Zetterberg's probably the biggest one. The year we won the Stanley Cup and he won MVP. Yeah. I can't talk about what he had to do after the season, what he played through. So, like, championship performance, that's one of them. Lindstrom, Yzerman, we've all, we know his stories. But my closer friends, like, Draper, he played hurt every game. Yeah. I mean, he was the bulldog to go into the boards and go after that puck and Speedster, and even McCarty. McCarty, we see the after effects of everything of all those injuries. But that's
even fun. Affects his hair.
Yeah,
even affects
his hair growth.
Still got a hell of a golf swing. I will say that about my big brother, number 25.
But to end that point, that's what it is. When you're in that working locker room, like you talking about touchdown for Green Bay, not Green Bay,
Jets,
Devon. When you're in a fun locker room, I mean, you've seen a good locker room versus a bad locker room in your career. I mean, it's just a momentum change. Injuries are less. Training rooms less. Everybody's there. Like I just heard on a sportscast, when the leader of the team is out there outworking everybody, the rest of the team starts working harder too. And that's really what's happened with the Detroit Lions. I mean, everybody's working hard, and it's just infectious, and it's fun, right? That's a fun atmosphere. You want to be in there. You're not dreading it anymore. So Freeman at this level, is this his second World Series?
Yeah,
second. Yeah, he won.
So he already knew what it felt like.
Oh yeah.
So he wanted to taste that again, and he's later in his career. I'm sure he's having some type of surgery on that ankle after the season.
No, he definitely will. Last question for us. Detroit Pistons get their first win yesterday. They're now 1-4. Where are you with the Detroit Pistons as of right now in November? Well, November 1st.
I'm disappointed and upset.
Okay. And you know what? And we'll stop there. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. This is what we do here at Woodward Sports Network, the #1 network in the great city of Detroit and the state of Michigan. We do it big, and we appreciate your support. My man, Dr. Jeff Pierce, came in, as always, on Thursdays. We appreciate you, Michigan Sports and Fine. KG.
My dog.
Hey, man, it's been a hell of a week out of you so far.
Yeah, I do what I can,
You're
bro.
definitely leading the show this week with energy and spirit. I tell you that.
I got you.
We appreciate you, man. Pete Spivak with
Yes,
the
sir.
bets, with the Bobby Boucher over there, and my man Tom Mazaway rocking the Giancarlo Stanton before she was Giancarlo Stanton. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you mañana.